Welcome to Peter and Ruffy's Football Show here on STV. The main talking points on tonight's programme: Celtic draw 1-1 with Astana in their Champions League qualifier in Kazakhstan. The League Cup holders Ross County are out of the competition. We'll look back at all the games from last night, and we'll look ahead to Aberdeen's match against Maribor in the Europa League tomorrow night. All in the company of Alan Ruff. I'm Peter Martin. We're delighted to have your company. Well, Lee Griffiths yet again will hog the headlines, saves the day. It's a good 1-1 result.
Yeah, I think it is, Peter. I think anybody going away from home in Europe says an away goal is so important. But I think very confident display by Celtic after obviously losing that goal. But it showed that they now have a manager who's got the European tactics spot on to go into that game and play three at the back, particularly with the amount of injuries they had. All credit to him for doing it. Yeah,
just looking at that line-up, the way that Celtic lined up, obviously Owen O'Connell did get the nod alongside Effie Ambrose and Lustig. On occasion when Astana had the ball, suddenly Kieran Tierney would drop in and make it a 4, Ruffy. But again, they held good possession. But the one worrying aspect of it that Celtic fans and Brendan Rodgers won't be fooled by, I think, is the centre of defence.
Yeah, again, it's the same problems as last year. You know, anything coming into the box was a bit of a panic. It's obviously why he's made the signing that he has, and he'll be hoping that somebody who's got a dominant presence in there can go and attack the ball. That seemed to be the problem, that nobody's prepared to go and attack the ball when the ball comes in. But certainly they got away with it in numerous occasions today, but a good result in the end.
Yeah, I thought right at the death, Ruffy. I mean, you know, they could have got another goal to make it 2-1. Let's talk about the first goal that Celtic conceded. You're a goalkeeper. You'll maybe question Gordon. I would question, obviously, 6 yards out, the guy gets a free header.
Yeah, I think you've got to question, first of all, who's marking that area. It's a ball coming into the box. OK, it was whipped in, but it was a height. Anybody who was marking that area or should have been in that area should have dealt with comfortably. And they did that after it. Every corner after that, they had somebody in that position. I think Craig Gordon, in the light of day, when he looks at it, will blame himself for it. I mean, he came out in no man's land. I don't think he was getting anywhere near the guy that had the header into goal. So, yeah, bad mistake by the goalkeeper, but I think others have got to take the blame as well.
Yeah, there are positives. We already talked about the way Celtic kept possession at times on a difficult pitch, but Patrick Roberts just continues to excel. He looks like the one Celtic player that you're looking at and thinking he can do something different.
Yep, in a forward position, certainly given the ball, bags of confidence. We all know he's left-sided. We all know what he's going to do, but he has that the sharpness, you know, to get away from defenders. And I think he was the light. I think everybody was just hoping that he could get on the ball and create something. And lo and behold, at the end of the day, he was the one that created it.
Yep, and again, it's, you know, we're talking about Dembele and Griffiths as a partnership. Time and time again, you only have to give Griffiths, you know, sight of goal, a chance, and he can show what he can do.
Yeah, well, that's what European football is all about. That's what the quality strikers do. You know, you can go 90 minutes, you can go, we're only getting one sniff at goal, and if you take it, that's when your stock goes up. I don't think he had been doing it before in Europe, but certainly getting that goal today will give him massive confidence for future games.
Yeah. Were there any other things that worried you negatively or positively about that?
Positively, Tierney. I thought Tierney made the tackles when he had to, and I think everybody else built round about that. I thought when Beaton come on, I always said he's a better player in European football. He can get the ball down, he can control the game. That's what he did. Apart from that, I think everybody was competent. Although I said Craig Gordon was to blame for the goal, I think he made up for it more than once later on in the game. I think he showed the quality a goalkeeper that he is. But I think that main central defender is there for everybody to see that they need.
Yeah, of course, Kolo Toure has been registered in the squad. He could play in the home leg at Celtic Park next week.
Yeah, well, I think the first thing you've got to look at that team and say, are they going to get better? I don't think they are going to get better. I think they'll just play the same way as they played today. I think Celtic will get chances. So I think defensively wouldn't be a problem at Parkhead. I think it's creating the chances for somebody to score the goals.
It's a strange thing, you know, but it's the gamble you take. You know, you've got 2 qualifiers, then you have the playoff coming up after that, just to get to the group stages, Ruffy.
Yeah, it's amazing, and everything at stake. But obviously Celtic at early stages, but you can see by looking at them week on that they're getting better, And I like Brendan Rodgers now. I really can't talk highly enough about him to go with 2 strikers. I mean, Celtic went with 1 striker away from home, even in the league, But this guy is prepared to make the gamble to play that extra striker up front. Everybody could see that Celtic needed to play last year.
Yep. Will 1 reinforcement be enough, you think, to see them past this next round?
Yeah, I think so. I think if you get the presence of the big guy at the back, I think players round about. I think he has got team, not selection problems, but I mean he's got players that he can bring in, and for that particular game. But I would think that they will be in the back foot for most of that game.
Yep, okay. Good result for Celtic there. 1-1 against Astana. Don't forget, you can give us your thoughts on that at Peter and Ruffy on Twitter and Facebook.com/Peter and Ruffy, beg your pardon. So 1-1 for Celtic against Astana out there in Kazakhstan. We'd get a huge shot in the arm, I think, Ruffy, if Aberdeen could produce not something similar, a really good result without conceding at Pittodrie, where I think we're expecting 18,000 there for that game.
Yeah, and let's hope that the players respond to that. I mean, unfortunately, the last time when they had 18,000 there, I think they went a goal behind quite early in the game, which put everybody on the back foot. So I think it's really important that they get an early goal and get that crowd right behind them. And they do really need to take something for the return leg.
Yeah, Derek McInnes mentioning that it would be a huge shot in the arm for our game. I think 2 out of 4 would be great.
Yeah. Yes, I think so. I think we need, from the neutral point of view, to have as many clubs as possible in Europe. Europe is where you want to be. Europe is where the buzz is. Europe is where the supporters want to be. They want to travel away and support their club. And let's hope they can do it.
And the one bonus, I think, from the difference between last season's Aberdeen side and this one, they've got a big guy up front who seems to have settled in well, and Jayden Stockley, 6'3", he can cause problems. That gives you a different option from a Johnny Hayes, a Niall McGinn, and Adam Rooney.
Yeah, well, we saw it in obviously today's game. If you can get wide players like Roberts on the other side, if you can get quality balls into the box, obviously these big guys cause a bit of problems. But when you've got players round about him who can feed off him, that's a big bonus as well. So they'll be hoping that he can score as well.
Do you fancy them?
Yeah, I do, particularly at home. But we saw that the Malmo the last year, the Maribor, they are not a reasonable side, But again, against Celtic, they had the confidence of the goals behind them. It'd be interesting to see how they react if they go behind. Yep,
okay. That's 2 clubs in European football that we certainly hope are still involved in the next stage as well. So we've got a week to wait, and let's hope Aberdeen can do the business tomorrow night and build up a good lead. So that's the European scene. Just some of the stuff that I've been picking up today, some of the stories that have been breaking before we hit the break, Ruffy. Of course, we talked about Hibs and their recruitment policy. Neil Lennon going to Celtic, obviously keen to get Liam Henderson on another year-long loan.
Yeah, this is a Liam Henderson shout as far as I'm concerned. Obviously, Liam will see the squad of players that went away to that European tie. He wasn't involved in it. He's got to say to himself, look, at my age, do I want to be playing week in, week out, or do I want to just be sitting on my backside or playing the reserve side? And I think at this stage, with the success he had last year with Hibs, I think he'll just take the chance to go for another year playing in a very, very good league and a very good team.
Yeah, I think he's young enough.
Yeah.
I think, and again, he's going to be playing regularly. I don't see, I mean, if anything, Liam Henderson going back to Celtic, he'd be just one of a clutch of midfielders in there. I mean, I noticed when in the game earlier today that you've got Christie and Scott Allen sitting in the stand.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He's got to say to himself, look, these are the players that, I would be trying to compete against to get in there, and if they can't get a game, what chance have I got of getting in, and I just think playing is so important at their age to get games under the belt.
Yep, and of course there was a wee bit of social media, I think it was everyone having a laugh, suggesting that Jordan Larsson was potentially going to be joining Rangers. It's great when you follow these little veins of stories that emerge on the internet, Ruffy, and they get quickly shot down.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, names will get bandied about, you know, but Rangers are still looking for players. It'd be interesting again. I think the Rangers supporters have been given the right treat during the close season with the players that have come in. So another couple would just keep them happy.
Yep, and one just before the break, Ross McCormack, definitely high on the agenda at Norwich City. They want him. 12 million it's going to take.
Yes, I mean, that's the kind of player they know he can score goals, and that price shouldn't be batting them or really panicking them at all down there.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a drop in the ocean. I was wondering where you were going with that, Ruffy. We'll have a quick break, give him a drink, and then we'll be back. Welcome back to Peter and Ruffy's Football Show here on STV. We've been talking European football in the first part of the programme, but we're going to talk now about the League Cup. Now, amazingly, Ruffy, I don't know how it happened. I don't know how it managed to go this long without me ever being at Clifton Hill, Albion Rovers ground. It was the first time ever that I've been at Clifton Hill. And I watched a very entertaining game indeed, Albion Rovers against Clyde. Clyde nicked it in the end by 2-1. But I'll tell you, you know, football on show, two teams trying to play the ball on the deck. Not a great night, rain, slippery pitch. But Barry Ferguson's side and Darren Young's side were a joy to watch. Yeah,
and I think the crowds are beginning to appreciate that. The crowds are coming back. I think the days of the 300 and 350 are gone now. I think 600, 700, and they're going along there and enjoying the football that's on show. And certainly, particularly Albion Rovers, I mean, things have changed so quickly over the years. They have owners in there now who want to promote the game within the community. They want to make the stadium a lot better than what it is, and they're doing their best to do that.
Yep, there were some really good footballers on show. I think two managers that have a bright future in the game. Albion Rovers took the lead in that match, Ruffy, and then slowly but surely Clyde playing some really good football. They had a good left back, and of course they managed to nick 2 goals, turning around. Ewan McNeil and Dylan Easton. McNeil's goal was an absolute peach of great passing, and then a penalty right at the end nicked it for Clyde. But I've got Clyde as one of those teams that I think can win their division. I think I've picked 4. I'm going to go for them, and at the bookies, Celtic, Hibs, and Clyde and Peterhead, or Peterhead and Clyde, I beg your pardon.
Yeah, well, I don't think you'd be too far away from that. You know, that it's still early stages yet. It remains to be seen whether Barry can maybe add a couple of players to his squad, but certainly they were just that away from it the other year, and I think on this year he'll be hoping to grow on that.
Yeah, really good football. Well done to both managers. I have to say though, Ruffy, the great thing about it was only, I think it was about just short of 400 fans coming out last night. A difficult night to sit and watch it, but it was a real hark back. It was a real hark back to the old days actually. And there was, the fans standing there, and you could hear the patter, which I thought was absolutely magnificent. There was a young team just in front of us, and when Peter McDonald came on, one of the young guys shouted, "Who's he?" And then the other guy. The other guy says, I don't know, but I've seen him in Tesco the other night there. So I thought, there you are. What a way to sum up Peter McDonald's career. But he'll score goals.
Yeah, he certainly will. I think before the season's out, they'll certainly know who he is, because we know he's got an eye for the goal, and I'm sure he will score a few goals.
Yeah, absolutely. What about the League Cup last night? I mean, Ross County, from the highs of lifting the trophy to the ultimate low of going out of the tournament this early on, Ruffy.
Yeah, I think Jim McIntyre will be really stunned by that. Obviously, when you've won a tournament, you want to experience that again, but you're not going to get the chance. Nipped in the bud very, very early, and they'll be gutted by that. But he'll turn it into a positive and say it'll give them more time to get organised for the league starting. Yeah,
although, they're talking about the holders going out. Fair play to Alloa.
Yes, Alloa are on a roll. We had the manager in last year, and he was telling us, the kind of player that he wanted to bring in. Certainly looks as if he's done well in the close season, and they're on a terrific run. The surprise result for me was the Dunfermline last night. I think Dunfermline was oozing about them, been playing fantastically well and winning comfortably, scoring goals, and then on the end of a hammer.
Yeah, but Inverness can do that to many a team anyway. I mean, I certainly would have thought it would be 5-1, but certainly a big result there. And Motherwell, they got their win as well, as we look back at some of them. And of course, the penalties seem to be popular. There's the results there, Ruffy, from the games. Of course, we had a couple of penalty shootouts, but Brecon, fair play to them against St Johnstone.
Yeah, I mean, I think the teams from the lower divisions are doing particularly well, Peterhead as well, and I think the penalty points at the end of the day are going to be the point that could make you go through to the next round or not, and certainly there are some very, very crucial games coming up.
Yep, absolutely. It was a cracker between Queen's Park and Airdrie as well, but Airdrie eventually nicking it after the 6-goal thriller as well. And again, I think, you know, we're talking about Gus and the job he's done at Queen's Park. There are a number of really good managers trying to get us playing football and get the fans back to see some good football on show. I mean, let's not forget, everybody's talking about the showbiz of potentially Rangers and Celtic coming back together and bringing the focus back onto the game. But I think a lot of clubs in the lower leagues made it exciting last season. I think we'll get the same this season.
Yeah, I think if you look at most of the leagues, every time we were speaking about it, it was the positiveness, and there was, I think it was one of the leagues, there was at least 7 or 8 could have got promotion right at the death, you know, and that's what made it really interesting. And that was the same with the other divisions as well. There were some of the divisions you could not predict who was going to be in that top 4.
Yep. Can I just talk about your old side, Partick Thistle?
Yep.
They had a good start, good 4-1 win.
Yep, just rolling along. Queen's Park at the weekend at home. They'll be hoping that they can get into the later stages of a tournament that they like to win every 25 years.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to count when 71 and trying to think where we are now. But this might just be the year that they can get a good run.
I was waiting for you there to say this is the year they're going to win it, Ruffy.
I think many years ago that was 71 when we won it. So we're at what, 29, 45 years. Is that a significant time to win it?
What to have? I was waiting for you saying, is that a significant year to have a dinner?
No, usually not. Well, we are having a dinner, believe it or not. I think there is, yes, there is preparations for 45, yeah, I think there is, yeah.
Is there?
Yeah, I think there is.
That's not bad, actually. You've had 45 dinners out of that League Cup win. Who'd have thought? And I think the biggest lesson that you could pass on to any footballer with regards to this tournament, I mean, in Ross County players, they don't need to be told about it. It doesn't come around all the time.
Perfect example. If you win one, you know, they don't come round every year, so take it while it's there.
Who's your tip for the League Cup? I mean, it's all guesswork, I know, Ruffy, but I've written mine down, and I mentioned it on our Facebook last night when somebody said to us, who do you think is going to win the League Cup? And I've written that team down right now. Who are you going for?
I'm going to go for Aberdeen.
You got Aberdeen to win the League Cup?
Yes.
Wow, okay, so you've seen enough there that...
I think obviously it depends how the draw goes, who you can stay away from, and if they get a reasonable draw, I think this might be their year for a final. Yeah,
well, listen, it's early for us to go for something. Oh, I've just written it down. Yeah. There you are.
Rangers.
Rangers to win the League Cup.
Berwick of the real Rangers. I know how you like to cover yourself.
No, it's... No. I'm going Rangers. I've just got a sneaky feeling that the way this whole tournament...
Early indications.
It's all guesswork, isn't it? I mean, realistically, you know, once you actually... In fact, the next stage, you know, is when the teams that obviously...
Yeah, but I don't think the seeds can be drawn against the seeds.
No,
they're dropping down.
No, but again, it's weighed heavily in their favour.
Right,
to be perfectly honest with you, which is why I think, you know, I just fancy them for a wee run. And you're going Aberdeen.
I'm going Aberdeen.
Not that I'm going to knock you for it. The one thing that we've been talking about, and it seems to be a recurring theme, Ruffy, over the last few days, and it certainly is not affecting Scottish football to an extent, because I don't think there's masses of money for people to splash out in exorbitant wages, is the fact that, you know, even Antonio Conte mentioned that, you know, clubs need to be wary of the money they're spending. I think Chelsea have bought 2 players and it's £64 million, but they're by no means the biggest spenders yet. But the money is obscene that's suddenly being bandied about by a lot of clubs in England who will totally and utterly distort the transfer market everywhere, because clubs know, well, wait a minute, you've just got £100 million handed to you from this deal. You know, we want an exorbitant fee for for a Pogba or somebody else that you want. We're going to ask for a John Stones at 50 million. You know.
Yeah. But we've seen it before, Peter. You know, that's the market that they're in down there. And good luck to the players, because they're the ones that are obviously benefiting. But you touched on it. If that's the money the agents are taking out of the game, it's obscene, and I think that might be the thing that will upset the clubs when they see that kind of money is going out of the game.
Yeah, the worry is that you get clubs that can't balance the books, Ruffy, that try and take the gamble, that try and spend extra to stay in that division, to keep getting the money, and they get greedy and they get caught out in the bottom three. And then I genuinely think that, you know, that some clubs are going to come a real cropper. If it's not their wealthy owner walking away, it's going to be the fact that they haven't been able to balance the books.
Yeah, you're right, Peter. You know, and you can see what happens at the end of the English league when things get really, really tight.
Yeah,
you know,
Bolton.
the panic sets in. You know, and then they splash the cash, and then if it doesn't work, you just drop, and then obviously you get into trouble.
Okay, I'm going to go 2-0 Aberdeen. What do you think?
I hope so. I'd like to say 3-0, but 2-0 I'd be happy with.
Okay, Ruffy, it's all about opinions. Some of it guesswork, some of it maybe trying to be informed. We do our best. Good result for Celtic. Thanks for watching us tonight. Don't forget you can join us tomorrow at 7. Good night.